This man is a CIA cryptographer named Charles Heller. He's a genius, but a nerd, and known for being a coward. Charlie is a man far removed from violence. He lives in a world of codes, encryption, and algorithms in a small room at the American National Intelligence Agency. With an IQ of 170 in his head, Charlie is used to delving into the structure of language, compiling meaning in fragments of code, and certainly not in bullets, violence, or even explosions. At home, his life is quiet and beautiful with Sarah. A wife full of tenderness, his life is straight and meaningful. They have a simple dream: to fix up an old Cessna plane they bought with years of savings together. However, that piece is shattered when Sarah goes on a business trip to London. A terrorist attack occurs in the city. That morning, Charlie goes to the office as usual and is surprisingly informed by his boss that Sarah has been a victim in the London attack incident at the Christopher Street Hotel.
I need you to come with me to the director's office.
Director.
I'm very sorry, Mr. Heller.
What?
In London, where a terrifying hostage situation.
That day, Charlie went straight home and never knew how to calm down for a moment. At home, he sees news that the CIA is moving quickly. They declare the incident as collateral or a disaster that occurred and couldn't be avoided. No in-depth investigation, no names revealed, and of course, no revenge, but Charlie doesn't stay silent. He seeks a way using his skills to uncover who the perpetrators are and find something that doesn't add up. Within the internal state code system that he manages, he begins to identify communication patterns that shouldn't exist. Files leading to a secret drone operation in the Middle East and a location code that aligns with the presence of the group claiming responsibility for the London attack. That's where his suspicions are born. He suspects that the CIA actually knows who is behind the attack, but is choosing to remain silent. Charlie tries to show his findings to his superiors, but the response he receives is quite disappointing, even suspicious. The head deputy director of the CIA named Moore and a senior analyst named Caleb state there is not enough evidence to declare the names of perpetrators based solely on a name obtained from cryptography. They tell Charlie to return to his duties, bury his grief, and let the top brass handle it. Former Armenian, Charlie doesn't stay silent. He digs deeper, infiltrating systems that he shouldn't even access. And there, he finds something darker. There's a secret project within the CIA, leading to the delivery of bullets and automatic killing systems, programmed to target based on digital data that is often incorrect. Several of these operations are known to have caused civilian deaths. This includes those related to the network or the perpetrators in London who also took his wife's life. Even more astonishingly, Charlie finds that the bullets used in the attack came from American arms inventory sold to terrorist factions as part of a dirty operation that involves insiders within the CIA. Charlie then brings all his findings back to Moore and Caleb. Because he knows exactly what his superiors are hiding, Charlie shows all the perpetrator data there and hopes his superiors will follow up on the justice that is due. But again, his superiors refuse to follow up. Moore calmly suggests Charlie keep his sanity. Caleb warns him not to take the law into his own hands, and clearly this is not Charlie's authority. This is where Charlie takes a step brave enough. Charlie, knowing that his leaders were also involved in the arms supply, and knowing that the CIA would definitely not intervene, finally asks for several things to be followed. He plans to take revenge with his abilities. Charlie only asks for access to special state intelligence training, 5 passports, and different identities to support his mission. If the leaders don't comply, Charlie threatens Moore and Caleb that he has secretly copied all system data, and that data could be automatically posted to the media if something happens to Charlie. He has enough evidence to imprison anyone who obstructs his plans. Because the CIA leaders have no choice, they send Charlie to special training. There he is trained by Colonel Robert Hendo, a war veteran whose abilities and loyalty to the country are beyond doubt. The training is tough. Charlie learns how to make improvised bombs, shoot under pressure, read situations in a room darkness, and practice survival skills in every situation. But it seems the trauma of losing Sarah often makes him lose focus. Every time he points a gun at a target, Sarah's face appears and time passes. And before you know it, 2 months have passed. and the trainer named Hendo concludes that Charlie is a thinker, not a killer. He has brains but no instinct for satisfaction. At the same time, we are shown that the leaders agreed to send Charlie to special training so that the leaders in his team could search for all the data stored by Charlie. The CIA ransacked Charlie's office and even ransacked his house. On the other hand, Charlie continues to train and print several passports and identities according to his request, until shortly after, the CIA, who continues to searching for the data hidden by Charlie, they found nothing. Finally, the leaders and their team concluded that Charlie was actually just bluffing so that he could get special training. The leaders immediately call Hendo and give orders to finish off Charlie. But the great thing here is that Charlie is several steps ahead of them. He realizes the leaders' plan to get rid of him. Because, of course, Charlie is not stupid, he always taps his leaders so he knows what will be done by the leaders.
He's gone?
He's got a bag full of passports. Even hacked the biometrics. Yeah, got out on a janitor's card.
Charlie sneaks out using the fake identity he had prepared before, Heller. His revenge begins from a small apartment in Brooklyn. Charlie deliberately comes there because he has studied all the data related to the people involved in the London case. He begins to assemble a digital map, compiling contact points and linking a woman's cell phone to his laptop. That woman is named Marwan, a former agent who is now arms dealer in Eastern Europe, as well as a shadowy figure in the leaked arms transactions. After getting the location on his laptop, Charlie continues to follow and observe every movement of Marwan. Charlie tries to break into his apartment, but he doesn't get any clues that can direct him to the location of the shooter who killed his wife. Finally, the day arrives when Marwan is undergoing a health test in the hospital. The test is like this. Guys, the test that is put into a sealed room, glass layered. Suddenly, during the testing process, the computer being operated by the doctor dies. The doctor immediately checks it out. And at that moment, Charlie goes in there and disguises himself as a doctor. There he forces Marwan to tell him where the killer is by giving torture. But again before leaving, Charlie, who is a kind person, instead releases Marwan from the glass room. A little fight ensues, and when Charlie chases, suddenly Marwan hit by a car. There Charlie approaches him calmly and takes his cell phone. After that, he immediately moves places to secure himself. Charlie goes to Prague, the city he knows as the last traced arms delivery chain from Marwan's cell phone. Just in the new location, Charlie is met with Hondo, who has received orders from the CIA to tail him. Inside the disco they meet, and Hondo says that he found Charlie from the GPS of the cell phone he stole from Marwan. But Charlie is not stupid. He had prepared several small explosives in the bathroom to divert attention and run away.
Base charge on a timer.
Knowing everything may not be safe, Charlie starts moving stealthily. He bribes a former local intel to help him in the mission. The intel who will help him is a woman who turns out to be the ex-wife of a CIA agent who was betrayed and left to die in an assignment. That woman is named Kualin. On the night, Charlie and Kualin immediately look for data where the whereabouts of the syndicate he is chasing using the data on Marwan's cell phone. They hack all the cameras in the city and find a man named Bleak who is also connected to the London incident is at the hotel. Because he knows that almost every night Bleak is in that hotel and swims in a glass pool that hangs above, Charlie plans a smart thing. He hacks the data from the building construction engineer and studies the structure of the glass swimming pool. 150 water. After that, he calculates everything with formulas and prepares a detonator that functions to suppress the air decompression trapped between the two layers of glass. After everything is ready, on the night, Charlie immediately comes to the hotel with the help of Kualin, who is monitoring all the CCTV from home. The action is launched. After that, turns out there is Hondo, who quietly also follows Charlie. But with the help of Kualin, who accesses CCTV, Charlie can easily get out of there to avoid Hondo. But it's not that simple. Charlie is smart, and of course the CIA is also smart. The CIA managed to find the location of Charlie and Quillen's hiding place and soon immediately ambushed them at night. Because they had seen it from CCTV, they both ran away through the back door and got into a car. But in the chase that occurred, it seems Quillen was shot. Charlie immediately took the steering wheel, despite losing Quillen's life. After all that, Charlie looked a little sad and returned to the mission. Because of losing some clues now, he opens his laptop again and accesses the arms sales data carried out by the leaders. He is clever. He makes a fake transaction in a building with the network group that killed his wife. When the transaction occurs and the group opens the weapon chest, it turns out the contents are not weapons, but a bomb that has been designed with a system. If the chest is closed after being opened, the bomb will automatically explode. Do you see it? Recognize her? London, maybe. There, Charlie gets a clue that Siller is hiding on a ship on the beach. After getting the clue, it seems Charlie still goes without turning off the bomb system he assembled. Now Charlie moves places to get closer to the location that killed his wife. At a port, he begins to look for the information he needs, trying to think from what angle he can get a clue. For hours, he carefully observes who there is suspicious enough and will be the way to the sealer. He photographs someone standing on a small boat in his house. He studies the photo and looks for ship details from the license plate in the previous photo. Not only that, it seems Charlie is doing a programming through the CIA access that he can still access until now. After that, Charlie returns to the port and returns to observe. But suddenly someone hits Charlie from behind until he loses consciousness. Charlie is immediately taken by a small boat to the big ship where SER is located. In the ship, finally, they both meet and a conversation occurs. Who's coming after me? Suddenly there, Siller instead gives a weapon to Charlie and challenges whether Charlie is able to pull the trigger. According to Siller, Charlie is more sadistic than that. So far, Charlie has always killed his targets with intelligence and quite torturous. Go ahead. Ended face to face. Charlie doesn't pull the trigger, but he does something bigger. He doesn't just want to kill the sealer, but also wants to torture him in his own way. Apparently earlier when Charlie accessed the CIA data, it was aimed at hijacking and injecting a digital pilot system to the ship's server remotely. The system can be controlled remotely using a GPS system, gave them this location. But who controls all that? This is where everything is answered. At the same time where Sealer will soon be arrested, on the other hand, the central CIA leadership also announced that he and Charlie had managed to collect all the data, proving that one of the leaders in the CIA had been doing a dark business of arms smuggling. Because of that, one of the leaders will soon be arrested. From here, we know that it turns out that the highest leader is operating the hijacking of the ship Salele. The deal is, Charlie wants to work with the highest leader because Charlie asks for one thing: leave Sealer in prison and give Charlie permission to come to him and do whatever he likes to Sealer in prison. Finally, revenge is avenged and everyone involved has been caught. Now the scene shows Charlie visiting his wife's grave. After that, he meets Hondo, who turns out to also be involved in Charlie's camp and supports him secretly.
Everything you taught me.
No.